the Wilson neck expanding mandrel right now on Pirate Firearms and reloading. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm kind of excited. I'm changing up my reloading process a little bit, and something I've done for a very long time is just use the standard old full length sizing die, set up to shoulder bump and called it a day. I've always used that expandable / decapper that comes with most common die. I'm going to change that for two reasons. When you buy, brand new virgin brass, the necks are not always perfect, sometimes massively undersized depending on the quality and the brand of the brass you buy. And also, it seems to be more consistent to expand the neck in a top-down motion rather than pulling it back through the body. So we're going to give this a go today. The reason I've gone this way is because I did get a bunch of brand new 3030 brass, and I found that the necks were massively undersized, and it gave me huge trouble when setting bullets. So I really probably should have full length sized that from the start. It wasn't the nicest brass in the world, but it was all I could get at the time. So today, for the example, I'm going to be using some brand new 308 brass. This stuff is Norma, so it is, good quality brass. It's probably not the best on the market, but it's definitely a nice quality. Now, I hope the camera shows this, but what you will notice is not all of these necks are perfect. Unlike, your extremely high-end brands of brass, say Lapua or Alpha or something like that, a lot of those will come in an ammo box and they're all protected, whereas other brands, Norma, provide them in a like a cardboard box. Some brands even in a plastic bag where they can get crushed and damaged and all sorts. So your necks will never be perfect out of the box, generally speaking. So we're going to have a little bit of a play around here today. So I'm going to just set my calipers 2 inches. We'll zero those guys out, and let's just see what some of the necks are out of the box. So we got 3045, so that's quite a way undersized. Oh, wow, look at that one. 3035, that's really small. 3015. Right, so we're seeing that we've got an inconsistency. I just grabbed 5 randomly out of the packet. So there's no scientific approach to that, just those are the 5 I grabbed. Right, with the supplier here in New Zealand, they do the die body only, and then you buy the mandrels that you need. I still have a 6.5 Creedmoor one on the way, but I've got a 30 and a 22 in here at the moment. So I've already pulled the instructions out and had a good read, so I don't butcher this. What you get is a very beautifully machined die body. Now we're going to pull this apart in a second and give it a good old clean out, but it is just the machining quality with anything that Wilson makes is fantastic. You got your adapter that holds your mandrel, and then you've got the die body itself. They also provide this nice window inside, and there is a locking set screw here on the die body. This one is so nicely made. It's a bit of reloading bling at the end of the day. We're also going to need a 308 shell holder, which is number 2. So what you need is a 332 hex or Allen. Actually, there is a bit of felt inside that lock ring from what I've read, and that helps protect these threads if you ever do have to change your die settings, which is a nice touch. So you don't want to have this inserted all the way in. It's not like a full length sizing die where it has to touch the shell holder at the top of the stroke. So we're just going to spin that in there. And I want the lock ring to be facing me during the reloading process. So I'm going to set this up again secondarily for myself, but for you guys today, so you can see what is going on, we are going to set it up that window. And just to confirm that we are not striking the die body, just going to bring that up, and you can see, hopefully, the piece of brass coming up through the case neck. That's perfect. Right, equally the same, we can adjust the the mandrel insert as well with another lock ring as well. So we can set up the height a little bit. Now what I am going to need is my 308 mandrel. Now, one of the other important things, if you haven't already done it at this point, is to degrease the die and the mandrels. I have already done the die. Just quickly do the mandrel off screen. This is captured on video, but these are so beautifully machined. It's incredible, really. All right, so jam nut in. So now we're going to screw this guy into the die body. Now, before I took note of how far my brass case came in, okay, that's going to be fine like that. Right. Now, one of the most important things is a good quality neck lube. Wilson recommend graphite, but I have this Lyman stuff sitting here, so I'm going to use that today. Graphite is very, very messy. If you don't know, I do have graphite, and I do quite like graphite, but today we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to dip the neck in there, just like that. Give a little shake off, and we're going to put it in the die. So now, when you come through, you're going to feel it contact the start of that mandrel, and then it's going to push up and over, and then you're going to feel it go free. And there'll be a little bit of resistance on the exit as well. And now we have sized the neck. We'll just wipe that case neck lube off, and we're going to come back and we are going to check the inside neck diameter again. Now, 3065, okay, this is just going to depend on how accurate my calipers are, I think. I believe that mandrel was supposed to size at 307 or 0.3. So up there, I have enough wiggle room in the die, the way I've set it up, to not smash into the end of the mandrel. That's the most important part, because you'll damage the case at that point. I believe I'm getting more lube on the outside of the case than I am on the inside of the case, but that's okay. It's interesting how some of these have so much more resistance than the others. That really proves that, you know, even buying a pretty good brand of brass like Norma, you still have inconsistencies out of the factory. Closer to the 308 diameter that you would expect, or 308 diameter projectile that you're going to use. So I am really, really happy with that. I am going to do a little experiment off screen to see if graphite works better. I don't see it being a big issue. I've actually had this Lyman, oh geez, and that's why dry neck lube is a pain, because it goes everywhere. So folks, that's how you do it. I'm going to reset this up for myself so I can see it better, but this is the Ellie Wilson neck expanding mandrel die. Great for, you know, virgin brass that want to true the neck up in terms of its diameter and control your seating or your neck temp. And also, you know, add it to your reloading process. Take out that decapper expandable mandrel out of your full length sizing die, and then use this as a secondary process. The beauty of this is you saw how quickly I set this up. So if the next case I want to load, or the next caliber I want to load is 22, all I've got to do, back that jam nut off, spin that mandrel out, take my 22 mandrel, spin it back in. When it gets close, lock it up with the jam nut, back in the die body, and I'm away again. So I cannot stress how beautiful this machining is. Wilson is known for this. This is why their products are a little bit more expensive than everyone else's, because they do build a really, really nice die, and I'm really thoroughly impressed with this. This 308 brass I kind of already have a load for, so now that I've got consistent neck tension, I'm going to load up a bunch of rounds of that, do a little bit more testing, and once I'm happy with that, I have my final load, and it's happy days, I'm out shooting. So any questions, as always, hit me up in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share this with a friend, and until next time, happy shooting.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Catch you next time.